You call him a friend. He calls you the same. But watch his eyes the day you win something he wanted. I spent my life inside the courts of men who smiled for a living. Florence, Rome, the halls of the Medici, the tent of Cesare Borgia, and in 30 years of watching princes rise and fall, I learned one truth that most men refuse to accept until it has already ruined them. The dagger rarely comes from the man who hates you openly. It comes from the one who applauds you in public. An open enemy is, in truth, a kind of gift. You know exactly where he stands. You can prepare for him, outmaneuver him. Sometimes, and this is a lesson few understand, you can even turn him into an ally, because his hostility is honest, and honest men can be reasoned with. But the false friend, the one who agrees with everything you say, who is always so happy for your success, who never once tells you that you are wrong, he is not your ally. He is a spy who has made himself comfortable inside your own walls. Let me tell you of a man I studied closely, Cesare Borgia. Whatever else history says of him, he understood something about loyalty that most rulers never grasp. When Borgia conquered the Romagna, he did not immediately trust the men who rushed to serve him. He watched them. He gave them small tasks first, not the crown jewels of trust, but minor, low-risk assignments. And he observed, carefully, patiently, who executed those tasks with quiet competence, and who used them as an opportunity to whisper against him the moment his back was turned. Only after this testing did he elevate certain men to real power. And when he discovered betrayal, and he did, more than once, he did not scream. He did not warn. He did not give his enemy the courtesy of knowing they had been discovered. He waited. He gathered his moment. And he acted only when the false friend believed himself safest. This is the discipline most people lack. When we sense betrayal, our instinct is to confront, to demand answers, to accuse, to feel the satisfaction of righteous anger. But the wise understand, the moment you announce your suspicion, you have handed your enemy a warning. Now he knows to hide better. Now he knows to strike first. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon you have not yet chosen to use. Here is what I came to believe after watching 100 courts collapse from the inside. Loyalty that costs nothing is worth nothing. Anyone can be loyal to you when loyalty is easy, when your success benefits them, when standing beside you costs them nothing but a few kind words. This is not loyalty. This is convenience wearing loyalty's clothing. The only loyalty that means anything is the kind that survives inconvenience. The friend who defends you when defending you is costly. The ally who stays when staying puts him at risk. The man who tells you an uncomfortable truth, knowing it might cost him your favor. So do not judge a man by what he says when the sun is out and all is well. Judge him only by what he does when the storm arrives, when helping you requires him to sacrifice something of his own. Most men will fail this test. This is not cynicism. This is simply the nature of men, and a ruler, or anyone who wishes to survive among other people, must plan for nature as it is, not as he wishes it to be. Now I must warn you of the opposite danger, because it is just as fatal. Do not let this wisdom turn you into a man who trusts no one. Hatred and suspicion blind you just as thoroughly as blind trust does, perhaps more so, because a suspicious man sees enemies even in his true allies, and in trying to protect himself from all betrayal, he isolates himself from all loyalty, too. A prince with no allies is not safe. He is simply alone, and alone men fall quickly. So, here's the discipline. You do not need to hate the people you test. You simply need to watch. Share something minor, something low risk, a piece of information, a small trust, a task of little consequence. Then observe where it travels. Notice who defends you in rooms where you are not present and who stays silent. Or worse, who adds a quiet word of doubt when they think it will never reach you. Do this patiently, over months, not days. A false friend can perform loyalty convincingly for a single dinner. He cannot perform it convincingly for a year. When you find him, the false friend, the smiling,